It's time for the truth to be out there. Are you dating?
Well, everyone, Sony and Marvel announced a surprise deal today, and Tom Holland's Spider-Man will rejoin the MCU for Spider-Man 3. But it also sounds like Tom Holland will appear in Venom and other spider-related projects. So, does this mean that Venom is in the MCU? We're going to break down Kevin Feige's announcement and tell you exactly what's going on. This is Screen Crush. Hey everyone, I'm Ryan Airy. According to the new deal, Disney will get 25% of the profits from Spider-Man 3, and Spider-Man will appear in at least one more MCU film. What the? But what's more interesting, to me at least, is the wording of Kevin Feige's statement. I am thrilled that Spidey's journey in the MCU will continue, and I and all of us here at Marvel Studios are very excited that we get to keep working on it. Spider-Man is a powerful icon and a hero whose story crosses all ages and audiences across the globe. Now, this last sentence is key. He also happens to be the only hero with the superpower to cross cinematic universes. So as Sony continues to develop their own Spideyverse, you never know what surprises the future might hold. So, first of all, what does Feige mean about a Spideyverse? Well, when Marvel's interconnected universe became such a big hit, Sony started to develop several interconnected Spider-Man movies. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was supposed to kick off several of these spin-off franchises. But after that film disappointed, these projects were postponed and Sony worked out a deal to share Spider-Man with Marvel Studios.
Hey everyone.
Good job.
So, last year's Venom became the first film of the Spidey spin-off verse. And now Sony's making a Venom sequel directed by Andy Serkis and a Morbius the Living Vampire film starring Jared Leto that nobody asked for. Now, as soon as Venom was released, fans started asking, is he part of the MCU? And the answer was always kind of tricky. Kevin Feige originally said, Venom is not in the MCU, it's a Sony project. But then Sony producer Amy Pascal responded,
well, those movies will all take place in the world that we are now creating for Peter Parker. I mean, there'll be adjuncts to it. They may be different locations, but it will still all be in the same world, and they will be connected to each other as well.
Watch Feige when Amy Pascal says that Venom is in the MCU.
Well, those movies will all take place in the world that we are now creating for Peter Parker.
So then she must have gotten a terse text message from Feige because she clarified. All these characters are part of the Marvel comic book universe. In that universe, they are all related to each other. Kevin makes characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. These characters are separate except for Spidey, who belongs in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is why he's there. Basically, Sony was desperate to hitch Venom to the MCU's wagon, but Marvel Studios wanted no part of the film. So a few weeks ago, when it looked like the Sony and Marvel deal wasn't going to happen, news came out that said that Tom Holland was originally going to appear in the movie Venom, but Marvel shut down that idea. Now, I'm guessing this really stuck in Sony's craw. They're trying to develop their strongest franchise without being able to use the franchise's biggest star. It's like the Lakers being forced to bench LeBron James. So in addition to the profit-sharing part of this deal, it looks like that another major part is that Sony can use Tom Holland's Spider-Man wherever the hell they want. So the big winner here is Tom Holland's bank account. But the wording Feige used tells us a lot about how Venom and the other Spider projects fit into the fabric of the MCU. He said that Spider-Man is the only hero with the power to cross cinematic universes. Now, if you read into this literally, he's saying that Tom Holland's Peter Parker can use Rick Sanchez's portal gun and appear in Venom San Francisco. But that's not actually what he means. What's likely to happen is Tom Holland will appear in Venom 2 or Morbius, but never, ever, ever mention Tony Stark, Captain America, or an MCU property. Likewise, when Tom Holland appears in Spider-Man 3, he won't mention the cannibalistic alien or the vampire that looks like the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars. So it will be more like these are two different Peters in two different dimensions, like the multiple Peter Parkers we saw in Spider-Verse. These two Parkers happen to look exactly alike, and maybe both will even have superpowered suits, but they will never actually meet each other. However, just by acknowledging the existence of another company's totally separate franchise, Feige has kind of integrated them into the multiverse that's inside the MCU. But stay with me here. The multiverse means parallel universes. So, in Avengers Endgame, the Avengers actually created multiple branching realities every time they altered the timeline.
Remove one of the stones,
and that close splits.
An alternate reality.
So there's one timeline where Loki escaped with the Tesseract, and this is the Loki that we're going to follow in the Loki Disney Plus series. But now, an MCU character, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, is going to appear in another cinematic universe, thereby making Sony's Spider-Verse part of the MCU multiverse. So this is a really exciting time, and I'm glad these two kids could work out their differences. And to all of you social media users who tweeted #BoycottSony,
remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
So what do you think about Tom Holland appearing in Venom? Let me know in the comments below. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. For Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Airy.